never forget the Super Bowl in which the betting public gave the sports books that work.
The business.
That work, as some would
Straight
say.
work.
And that was what the case was this past weekend in Las Vegas, where the sharps or the books were looking at the Niners -2 in a lot of places, but it was the public who said, no, we'll take Patrick Mahomes and that +2, and we will ride off into the sunset with a bunch of cash. But according to some reports out there, $185.6 million was bet on the Super Bowl in Nevada sports books. That's a record, beats the previous record by about $6 million. And while the public did have a great day betting on the Chiefs, the sports books reportedly still pulled out a $6.8 million win. And there are some people that have...
Well, first off,
yeah.
They're the books. They should. Like, they're in business. Even when they lose, they win. Right, so that's their business model. Let's be real, though, because that's what we know is on the books. What we don't know is on the books is there's a lot of people who hammered a lot of bookies out there who we aren't able to keep track of. And so, by and large, congratulations to the public because you didn't win. You beat the sharp bettors. You beat all the people who went the other side.
Damn.
And LaVar, you want to know one of those people who was on the other side of this whole bet?
Who?
Knox.
Yeah.
He's not a man of the people. He was trying to be a man of the sports books, the casinos, all the sharp bettors out there. That's who you were, Jonas. Yeah. Show your face.
Well, listen, I'm not.
Show your face, Jonas.
Listen, I'm not a cup of Joe. I'm not going to sit there and hang out with the
you
casual
are a cup
public.
Of Joe.
No, I'm not going to sit there at Citizens
You're
for
the
8
cup
hours.
Of Joe.
You think I'm going to sit at Citizens for 8 hours and people watch? No. I'm in the high limit room. Okay, I'm with the sharps. I'm with the people that build those statues and fountains and restaurants and everything that people come to know and love there.
Would you 7 and 18 for our prop bets?
Listen, don't get lost in the numbers here, okay? The moral of the story is side with the people that build everything you go to see and witness and be a part of in Las Vegas. And I feel terrible that people like Brady Quinn are dancing on the grave of the sports books here who made him easy $6 million.
You know why? Because I'm with the people. I'm a man of the public.
Yeah,
you don't bet against Patrick Mahomes, okay?
Yeah.
Now,
you just don't do it.
Now, according
we
to
told the people.
Now, according to...
We told them.
According to some people in Vegas, apparently the prop bet that they really took a hammering on was the OT prop.
OT, yeah.
Because it was 10-1 payout. And so you had some
yeah.
people who said, I think this game's going to go to OT. And they had to pay out a fortune, quote-unquote a fortune, to those people who were betting on the props. But all in all, this just makes it seem like when you see how much money is generated because of this, I look around and I go, there's like 11 or 12 states that don't allow sports betting. What are you doing? Like the opportunity for revenue with this in to put into the economy in your state, and there's like states out there like California, they're like, nah. We don't think it's a great idea. Okay, because you've had so many great ideas throughout the course of the past couple of years. But let's go ahead and let's not allow people to gamble on sports when you see this sort of action that could come in. What it's done, look, we've talked about Ohio. Ohio's so far past California, they got it in grocery stores. You can bet on a game at a grocery store, and yet California's waiting around going, nah, we're just not interested in all that. Like, what are you waiting on? Like what is the problem with not allowing sports betting in these states with all the revenue and money that comes in?
There's a lot of moving parts to it. I would say, to your point, though, that the tax dollars you're able to generate off of it, it's big. I think, for schools, for the infrastructure, for everything else, it's huge. And I think it brings down somewhat of the cost of living because, in a way, you're recouping some of that cost, right, by being able to tax something else that's out there. So I'm an advocate of it. I think the dangerous part is we don't know the long-term effects down the road as this becomes legalized state to state, which is it's a bit of a concern, right? I mean, Ohio, who opened up last January, I believe, it's one of the biggest as far as sports betting goes. People love it. They love sports. They love place a little bit of action on the games, and it's awesome. But you got to be smart about it. You don't know how 5-10 years down the road how that ends up impacting people, especially those who have an issue. So if you do have an issue, if you know someone who does, get them help. But I'm a huge fan of it. I think the older I get to watching sports, and I've realized this, if I'm not playing in it, if my kid's not in it, which there's not going to be a live gambling line on a 7-8-year-old girl soccer game.
Oh, man, if there is, I'm in.
I mean, trust me, we've tried to make lines before. I actually took the under of one of our games earlier this season because we had a battle against another team that was in the neighborhood, and I knew it was one of those deals. It was like a divisional matchup. It was one of those deals where I was like, it's going to be a tight, low-scoring game. These girls know each other. It's going to be a battle. And I think our head coach set the over-under 6.5. And I almost spit out my coffee fast enough saying under because I knew it was going to be a low-scoring, tight game. Sure enough, we only won 2-0, but that's not beside the point. I would make lines on those games if I could. But since I can't, it's like, well, it's kind of fun for someone to have action on a game that you're watching them with. Even if you're not betting on it, it's just fun to see if they win or lose, you know?
LaVar, you in on this or no?
Out.
Really?
Out.
You don't think it adds a little something to the game? Like when you know it's coming down to the wire and it could be a blowout, but there's a point total or something like that could be involved? Like it's the hot sauce for sports. It's a condiment on the table. Like, this is a little bland. Let me throw some of this on it. All of a sudden, it tastes that much better.
I mean, it makes us attractive to major sponsors, of course. So I'll say I get where you guys are coming from, but I'm just not. It's just not something that I'm into. I'm just not into it. Sorry.
That's nuts to me, man.
I can't figure out y'all's lingo still to this day. But
that's because you're not trying to.
That's
we
very
really
true.
get you to put a little more effort into it.
That's very true. And
See, at one point, you thought you were on the same side as Jonas on that bet.
I'm not going to.
See, but I would also say this. LaVar, you're good at it, and you don't even realize it because you won over-unders, I think, last year. Like, you've done well in the picks.
Because I don't care.
Yeah, but that's a good thing. Like, you have a gift, and we need to water that gift and watch it grow.
Okay.
So with that being said, who do you like later on tonight in a couple of NBA games? I mean, like that.
Well,
this
what
is,
are the games?
Like, it doesn't matter. But this is, we need you. We need you. We're gonna ride this horse until it throws us off. All right. So we need you all in on this.
Okay.
To pound the table.
I'm in on doing the segments with you guys. I totally tuned out when Q started talking about betting on kid games and stuff like that. I was tuned out.
What's wrong with that?
Because it's not interesting to me.
He'd rather talk about juicy fruit.
That's correct. Yeah.
I mean,
juicy.
If it ever got to a point, like what sport is Penn gonna play when she gets older?
I don't know.
Like
she
volleyball,
likes dancing.
maybe?
She likes dancing.
Okay, there's a bet
I don't
for
choose
everything.
what they want to do. I don't know.
Let me tell you something. If you can bet on Indian Premier League cricket, you can bet on junior high dancing. I'll tell you that right now.
Wouldn't want to do it.
So,
I just wouldn't want to do it. It's just not interesting to me.
all right, well, give me some information and let me do it.
What information would you like to have, Jonas
Anything.
Knox?
If I could have some information, if I could start getting in on some of the action here, the whole point is this is an opportunity that's being lost in like 39 or 40 states in this country because people don't want to grow up and accept reality that sports betting is here.
Dang.
Yeah.
Just grow
There's
up.
a lot of local bookies, though, don't
Pink slips. I'm about to say pink slips have always been around. The little slips. They've your local barber shop, your local corner store, bodegas in some places.
How'd that go? What did the pink slip look like?
I never looked. Never looked at them.
Just write a bet, take it to somebody, and then
There you go.
Yeah.
That's right. Then
Some
your bet is in.
OTVs.
There you go.
Lee, I forgot about this. So Lee and I were watching some horse racing on Thursday. Was it the Today Show? And I think it was the Today Show asked us if they could film us while we were watching.
Really?
Sort of some B-roll.
Where was y'all at?
We were at Mandalay. Just kind of hanging out, watching some horse racing. Like, we're doing some a story on sports betting. Well, it was before you got there.
Oh yeah.
We're doing some betting on. We're doing a story on sports betting. Could you mind if we film you guys? Like, no, that's fine. And then Lee and I have got tall boys, and Lee's got a hot dog that looks like he pulled it off a corpse 3 weeks prior.
And by the way, that's the only place I was ever recognized for just being me.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
Lee did.
People recognized you as Lee DeLapp?
Yes, multiple times.
Lee boy?
Yeah.
Lee boy.
And what do you think their first question to Lee was? How you feeling? Like, how you feeling? Lee really was the star of Radio Row. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that.